Hello everyone, in this session we are going to learn how to solve a continuous beam by moment distribution method. And here is the type of loading what we have. And the first type of loading what we have on span AB is a UDL of magnitude 1.5 kilonewton per meter. Second span is again a span of 4 meter having a UDL of 2.25, and last span CD of carrying a point load of magnitude 4 kilonewton. Now, when we want to solve by moment distribution method, it is basically a three-step procedure. And three-step procedure here, as mentioned and solved in the previous sessions, are: first step is to find out fixed end moments. Next is to find out distribution factor. And in case of distribution factor, there are two formulas. One is 4EI by L and other one is 3EI by L, depending upon the type of support we are going to consider on the either side. Then the third step is nothing but the distribution table. So in case of distribution table, you will be getting what is nothing but the required parameter, which is called as the final moment. So this is what is the three-step procedure that we are going to solve by moment distribution method. And to start with the first step, which is nothing but the fixed end moment. So fixed end moment, when I need to consider all the intermediate supports to be rigid. Here A is an end support and likewise D is also an end support. Reason for calling and classifying it as an end support is beyond A towards the left hand side you don't have any other continuity of the beam. For that reason it is called as the end support. Likewise beyond D you don't have any continuity of the support. That's the reason why D is also been classified as the end support. Whereas on the other hand, B and C has a continuity on the left side and right side. So B will be called as an intermediate support and C shall also be called as an intermediate support. Now classifying this support condition for intermediate support will help us to find out the distribution factor. So distribution factors are generally been computed for the intermediate supports. For the end support, distribution factors are not been computed. So here in this problem there are two intermediate support, that is B and C. So distribution factors are calculated for B and C alone. So here we will be considering separate beam AB carrying a UDL. Now we will calculate the fixed end moment for this particular 1.5 kilonewton per meter UDL. So if I calculate this, MFAB is equal to formula will be minus WL square divided by 12. At A it will be minus for the reason if we happen to consider AB, UDL been placed at the top, it will start to rotate in the clockwise direction. As a resultant, resistance force offered by support A will be in the anti-clockwise direction. All clockwise direction rotation are assumed to be positive and all anti-clockwise direction rotations are assumed to be negative. This is what is the sign convention that we have been using it right from slope deflection method and few of the problems related to the moment distribution method. Since this is anti-clockwise, you are going to use as minus. So minus WL square by 12. So minus 1.5 into 8 square divided by 12. So if you solve this in calculator, so this will be minus 1.5 into 64, 8 square will be 64 divided by 12, which will come as minus 8 kilonewton meter. So first value of the fixed end moment is minus 8 kilonewton meter. Likewise, if you take MFBA, B will offer, if you catch hold of B and release support A, it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction and B will have a rotation force, resisting rotation force in the clockwise direction. For that reason, formula for MFBA will be plus WL square by 12, which will be plus 1.5 8 square divided by 12. Since both are same, so it will be plus 8 kilonewton meter. Plus for the reason direction of rotation is clockwise. Here it is minus for the reason is the direction of rotation is in anti-clockwise direction. So this is the calculation of fixed end moment beams pertaining to span AB. Next is the continuation from AB to BC. If you take out the freeboard diagram of BC, this will be the direction of BC having a load of 2.25 kilonewton per meter. So B and C, B will offer a resistance force in the anti-clockwise direction and C will offer a resistance force in the clockwise direction. So MFBC will be minus WL square divided by 12, which will be minus of 2.25 into total length of the beam is 4 meter, 4 square divided by 12, which shall come as minus 2.25, 4 square will be 16 divided by 12, which shall come as minus 3 kilonewton meter. So this is the value at B. Likewise, to calculate the value of moment at C, it will be MFCB. So MFCB will be plus WL square by 12, which will be plus 2.25 into 3 square divided by 12. As the values are same, it is 4 square divided by 12. As the values are same, so it will be plus 3 kilonewton meter. So these are nothing but the fixed end moment for BC and CB. Next is the last span C and D. C and D carrying a point load at the center, which is 4 kilonewton. So formula for this will be MFCD. Now C will offer a resistance force in the anti-clockwise direction and D will offer a resistance force in clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise is taken as negative and clockwise has been considered as positive. So MFCD will be minus WL by 8, as it is placed at the center, so it is minus WL by 8. If it had to be placed at an eccentricity, in that situation the value of the formula will be WA B square divided by L square, or else WA square B divided by L square. So which will be minus of W value is 4, L value is 8 divided by 8, and MFCD value will come as 8 gets cancels up as minus 4 kilonewton meter. Then MFDC value, as it is clockwise, its value is plus WL by 8, which is plus 4 into 8 divided by 8, which is 8 gets cancels up, 4 kilonewton meter is the fixed end moment for MFDC. So what we have calculated here is all the fixed end moments for the beam. So first step is over, that is computation of the fixed end moment is over. So as mentioned, it is hardly a 3-step procedure. Amongst 3-step procedure, one is over, which is fixed end moment. Next is the calculation of the distribution factor. For the calculation of the distribution factor, we have already identified which all are the intermediate support. Here amongst these 4 supports, B and C are classified as the intermediate supports. So the distribution factor will be calculated only for the intermediate supports, which is for support B and for support C. To calculate this particular value of distribution factor, so make a table calling it as serial number, joint, member, relative stiffness, what I call it as RS, and mathematically it has been represented as K, total stiffness, which will be calculated as summation K, and formula to calculate distribution factor will be this dF is equal to K divided by summation K. So first serial number, as been observed, here there are 2 intermediate supports B and C. So first serial number will be B, joint B. Member connected to joint B on the left hand side is BA and on the right hand side is BC. So it is BA and BC. Likewise, you have one more intermediate support. Next intermediate support is C. So second joint C. Member connected to C on the left hand side is CB. Note down here as CB. On the right hand side is CD. Now when I write this, relative stiffness is all dependent upon the type of support. Please do remember, relative stiffness is totally dependent of the type of the support. Here mentioned earlier, there are two formulas. Either it will be 4EI by L or 3I by L. 4EI by L will be used only if the support is fixed. Any other support apart from fixed, formula should be adopted is 3I by L. Any other support apart from fixed, formula should be adopted is 3I by L. And at the start of the analysis itself, it has been seen that B and C, in spite of it is being simply supported, it has been assumed as fixed. B, C are assumed as fixed. Reason is all intermediate supports are assumed to be fixed. So here A is a fixed support. So formula will be 4EI divided by L. And BC, C is also an intermediate support which is assumed to be fixed. So it is 4EI divided by L. So 4EI divided by length of the beam AB is 8 meter, 4EI by 8. Similarly, it will be 4EI by 4. Now EI value, if I take BA, EI value it is I have written as 4EI by L. And length of the beam AB is 8 meters. Length of the beam AB is 8 meter, 4EI by 8. Then it becomes essential to check out the value of EI. Value of EI is 2. So it will be 4 into 2 EI divided by 8. So 4 to the 8. 8 divided by 8 will get cancelled up and it will come out as 1. So first value will be 1 EI. For the second case BC, EI value is 1. So it will be 4 EI by 4. So again both will get cancelled up. It will be 1 EI. Total stiffness will be 2 EI. That is 1 plus 1 will come out as 2 EI. So this is what is the total stiffness for the joint B. Next, moving ahead for CB. So when we move to CB, check out here, it is 4 EI because B is assumed to be fixed here. As an intermediate support, it is assumed to be fixed. So 4 EI divided by L, again 4 EI divided by 4, which will come out as 1 EI. So write it here as 1 EI. Then CD, if we check out CD, D is a fixed support. So again it is 4 EI by L and EI value is 2. So it will be 4 into 2 EI. Length of the span of the beam is 4 plus 4 will be 8. 4 to the 8, 4 to the 8. So total it will be 1 EI. So total it will be 1 EI. Total stiffness will be 2 EI. When I take this particular value of distribution factor, it is K divided by summation K. K value here is 1 EI divided by 2 EI. So 1 by 2 shall come it as 0.5. EI shall get cancelled. Likewise for the second calculation it will come it as 0.5 because it will be 1 EI divided by 2 which will come it as 0.5. If we check out this will be 1 EI divided by 2. Again it will be 0.5 and this shall also be 0.5. So all distribution factors are what we have calculated is 0.5. So this completes the second procedure which is nothing but calculation of the distribution factor. Then the last step is to calculate the distribution table. To calculate distribution table should be created as in the form of the beam itself. So in the form of the beam when we create a table, so table will be represented in this particular fashion. So in total there are 4 points. So all the 4 points needs to be represented in the form of the table. First point A, second point B, third point C and the last point D. Draw a vertical line so that it has been categorized and separated in the form of the distribution table. So this is what is the table what we are going to create. So first row will be the creation of the joints which is nothing but A, B, C and D. Next joint is nothing but next row will be the creation of the distribution factor. Now distribution factors are calculated for B and what value we have calculated is BA which is 0.5. So you write the value here as 0.5 because B left hand side is BA, B right hand side is BC which is also 0.5. C left hand side is CB which is 0.5. C right hand side is CD which is nothing but 0.5. This is what is distribution factor. Next is fixed end moments. So fixed end moment what has been calculated here. AB is minus 8. So write the value here as minus 8. BA is plus 8. BC is minus 3. And CB is plus 3. CD is minus 4. And DC is plus 4. So these are nothing but the values what we have now. Here the prime most important thing is we need to identify whether the end supports need to be made 0. Here there is no necessity to ensure that the end support needs to be made 0 because end supports are fixed. So it has the potential to withstand the moment. For that reason, it is not necessary to make those particular supports to be 0. You can have any magnitude of the moment, and based upon those particular magnitude of the moment, n reinforcements can be calculated. So there is no necessary to balance this particular joint A and joint D, because those are fixed supports. Since A is fixed, it is not necessary to make it 0. Likewise, since D is fixed, it is not necessary to make it 0. Whereas B and C are basically simply supported, but you have assumed to be fixed. So that's the reason why you have a value here. And the value of the moment at B is not 0, because 8 minus 3 shall come it as 5. 8 minus 3 shall come it as 5. Likewise, it is not 0, so we need to ensure it to make it as 0. Likewise, 3 minus 4 will be minus of 1, so we need to make it 0 now. Now to make it 0, the operation will be called as balancing. That particular exercise on the operation shall be called as balancing. So when I do a balancing exercise, the sign that I am going to adopt will be the opposite sign that I have arrived here, that I have attained here. 8 minus 3, it is plus 5. So plus opposite sign will be minus on both the directions. Likewise, here if it is minus 3 minus 4 will be minus 1. So sign that you are going to adopt here will be positive for both the cases here. Opposite of minus will be positive, opposite of positive will be negative at this particular stage. So 5 into 0.5, which shall come it as 2.5. 5 into 0.5 shall come it as 2.5. 1 into 0.5 will be 0.5. 1 into 0.5 shall it again come it as 0.5. So this is what is the value that you are going to get here. Now next procedure is to carry over these particular moments. This carry over exercise needs to be done along with this sign. If it is minus here, carry over will be minus 1.25. It will be carried over here because A is fixed. Similarly, this value 0.5 shall be carried over to D because D is also fixed. So half value will be carried over. So half value will be carried over. So this value I shall call it as CO, that is carry over. Similarly, here it will be 0.5, half will be 0.25, and 2.5 half will be minus 1.25. Please check this part, minus 1.25. Now next value will be 0.25 multiplied by 0.5. So this particular procedure is again called as balancing. So 0.25 multiplied by 0.5, which shall come as 0.125. So 0.125. Here sign is positive, so both sign will be negative here. 0.125 and 0.125. Now if we happen to check here, what's the sign what we have got here? Minus. So what sign we are going to place it here? Positive. So 1.25 multiplied by 0.5. 1.25 multiplied by 0.5, which shall come as 0.625. So you can write it as 0.625. 0.625. Next procedure is carry over now. So half value will be carried over here, and next one half values on the either side. So this is what is 0.625 divided by 2, which is 0.3125. So 0.3125 here, and minus 0.125 divided by 2, 0.125 divided by 2, which will come as 0.0625. So which will come as 0.0625, and this exercise will be called as carry over. So 0.625 divided by 2, which is 0.3125, and here it will be positive. Carry over will be done along with the sign, and here it will be minus 0.0625. Still it is not, the first decimal should come it as 0, but it is not 0 here, so I shall continue with the exercise further as balancing. So 0.3125 multiplied by 0.5, 0.3125 multiplied by 0.5, which shall come it as 0.156, so I shall write it as 0.16. And positive sign, opposite will be negative and negative. Here it will be 0.16 negative, 0.16 negative. Then here 0.0625, 0.0625 multiplied by 0.5, which shall come as 0.3125, 0.03125, 0.03125. Opposite sign of minus here will be, both will be positive. Once we have done this particular balancing, next one is carryover. So 0.03125 half value will be transferred here. 0.03125 half value will be 0.016156. So I shall write it as 0.016. Similarly, here it will be 0.016. 0.16 divided by 2. 0.16 divided by 2, whose value will come as 0.08. So this value will be 0.08. And since it is minus here, you are going to add up the sign as minus. Similarly, here it will be minus 0.08. So this is what is carryover. Next procedure is balancing again. So balancing here, again 0.016 multiplied by 0.5. So which comes it as 0.008. So I shall write it as 0.008. Next one is 0.08 multiplied by 0.5, which will come as 0.04. So whose value shall come as 0.04. Now here, since it is positive, here both the signs will be minus 0.008, and here it is negative, so both the values shall come as positive. So this is what is the value of the balancing. Next value is carryover. So carryover, when I do, it will be done along with the sign. So it will be minus 0.004, and here it is 0.02, and here it will be minus 0.004, and here it is 0.02. So this is what is the value what we have now. If we happen to check the value here, we'll verify whether it comes out to be balancing. 8 minus 2.5 minus 0.125 minus 0.16 minus 0.008. So value comes out as 5.207. Value comes as 5.207 at BA. Likewise, the same value you should get it even on the BC portion, but with opposite sign, so that net moment at B is 0. So when you add here, it shall be minus 3 minus 2.5 plus 0.25 minus 0.125 plus 0.3125 minus 0.16 plus 0.016 minus 0.008 plus 0.02, which will come as minus 5.19. So minus 5.19 is minus 5.2, and here what we have it as 5.207. So I shall calculate it as 5.2. So this is what is the fixed end moment. Similarly, the same attainment should be there even at CB and CD. We will verify the value at CB first now. 3 plus 0.5 minus 0.125 plus 0.625 minus 0.0625 plus 0.03125 0.08 plus 0.04 minus 0.004, and whose value is 2.799, which is I call it as 2.8 positive. Likewise here, minus 4 plus 0.5 plus 0.625 plus 0.03125 plus 0.04, which shall come as minus 2.8. So both the values, that is net moment at plus 2.8 minus 2.8, net moment at C is 0, 5.2 minus 5.2, net moment at B is 0. So simply supported condition for B and C is balanced. Next we will verify these particular values. Now this particular row I shall call it as final moment. Now if we add all this, minus 8 minus 1.25 minus 0.0625 minus 0.08 minus 0.004, and total value shall come it as minus 9.39, which is nothing but minus 9.4. Likewise here, you need to add all the moment at D. So when you add 4 plus 0.25 plus 0.3125 plus 0.016 plus 0.02, and the value shall come it as 4.959, we shall write it as 4.6. So if you represent in the form of directions and arrows, this is a beam. At AB, minus means anti-clockwise, BC plus means clockwise, and this is anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise. 2.8, 5.2, 9.4 and 4.6. These are nothing but moment at B, C, A and D. Based upon this, we need to draw the bending moment diagram. To draw the bending moment diagram, I shall continue this below. So draw this particular line. As it moves upward, it hogs, 9.4 will come below. 9.4 shall be represented below. This both will hog, so again 5.2 will come below. 2.8 shall also hog, so it will come below. 4.6 will be here. So this is what is bending moment diagram, which is 4.6, 2.8, 5.2 and 9.4. Now over this you have a UDL, and those particular UDL will sag. This UDL, second UDL will also sag. Point load will also sag. Now sagging is considered as positive. For that reason, bending moment diagram will come above, which is positive. Here also it will be above, and at this portion it will be WL by 4. We'll verify now. This is WL by 8. This is WL by 8. And now WL by 8, the value here is 1.5 into 8 divided by 8, so which comes it as 1.5. Next one is 2.25 into 4 divided by 8. So 2.25 into 4 divided by 8, which comes at 1.125. 1.125 is the moment. Now here bending moment value, it is W value is 4, L value is 8 divided by 4, which comes at as 8 kilonewton meter. So this is what is bending moment diagram for a continuous beam carrying UDL and point load. And these are nothing but the sets of distribution table and the procedure that we need to adopt. So most important thing is, whatever the sign we are going to get, the opposite sign we need to adopt in the balancing exercise. And when we do carryover exercise will be done along with the sign convention. And the procedure and the iteration should stop once we get the first decimal as 0, which indicates there will be a balancing exercise. That means the net moment at the intermediate support, or the position where we have calculated the distribution factor at that particular position, it should be made 0. Thank you. Have a nice day.